All right, folks, we will call the meeting to order, and we'll begin with an approval of the agenda. But before we get to that, I wanted to make a bit of a special, I want to make a public apology, essentially, because it was brought to my attention on the weekend that the survey for our inclusion, diversity, equity, accessibility committee, the survey that we've recently put out because we're refreshing that plan, on one of the questions there was a very serious error that was made. One of the questions did not include an opportunity for our Indigenous community members to self-identify as Indigenous. You know, it was certainly something that was brought to our attention by the community. We had worked with the provincial government, the Office of Equity and Anti-Racism, but the bottom line is that we all missed this, and this survey went out on our watch. You know, I know that the committee very much and the county very much values its relationship with Budladek. You know, we are partnering together on things like our green energy initiatives, on the, you know, I know they were consulted with the multi-use facility feasibility study. I know that we had done a nice Festival of Trees initiative to provide hats and mitts to the school. These are all the things that we wanted to hopefully build on these small steps to get, you know, closer towards reconciliation here in the county. So, of course, we were all devastated. I particularly was devastated when we realized the error. You know, I guess at this point I just want to make a sincere and very public apology to Chief Wilbert Marshall and the entire council and frankly the entire community of Budladek, you know, many of whom I would consider friends. You know, I think the most important thing for us right now is that we need to recognize that we've made this error. We need to work towards rectifying it. And some of the steps that we've taken is that we have reissued the survey with the correction on it. We are channeling the community feedback that we've received from community members in Budladek back to the provincial office as well to make sure that this kind of error does not happen again. And I think at the end of the day, you know, we need to learn from this, do a better job of reflecting the diversity in our community. And I just want to say a personal thanks to the folks who reached out to me one-on-one to let me know that the error had occurred, and I want to thank also our team here for taking steps immediately to rectify the situation. And I would encourage any community members from Budladek as well to definitely reach out to me. We can have more conversations about this. But just wanted to kind of begin this evening with that statement and with that apology, because I think it has hit us all very hard, and I know we all truly feel terrible about what has happened. So I guess we will begin then with our meeting officially with approval of the agenda. If I could get a motion to approve, please.
I'll move the approval of the agenda.
Thank you, Councillor. Could I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. 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 Those opposed? That motion is carried. Okay, I'm going to hand things over to our CAO for the roll call of councillors.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And well said. District 1, Deputy Warden Sean Sampson.
Present.
District 2 is absent with regret. District 3.
Present.
District 4.
Present.
Sorry. And District 5, Councillor Brent Sampson. Present. Thank you. The roll has been called, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Troy. So the first item on our agenda are motions to adopt. So we have 3 items for adoption this evening. The first is the council procedural policy. So this policy is one that has been worked on very extensively by our Bylaw and Policy Committee, and I do want to thank all the staff who participated in this, but also particularly our clerk, Shelley, who is not able to be here with us this evening. I know she worked really hard on this with you, Troy, and others. So, so thank you for your work on that. So we would be looking at this stage of the game for a motion to approve the council procedure policy as presented. I think we're having some.
Did you hit it, Brent?
I'll make that motion.
There we go.
Okay.
I'll try to second it.
Okay. Could I get a seconder, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you, folks, and apologies to the folks at home. We're just still having a little bit of mic difficulties, so the motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion on the council procedural policy? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. 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 Those opposed, that motion is carried. The next item on the agenda are the terms of reference for the Recreation Advisory Committee. So there were some adjustments made to the terms of reference to outline, I guess, to make sure that it reflects better what the actual composition of the committee is, but also this, I think, helps to establish it as firmly as a committee of council as well. So are there any, if there's, and the frequency, the meeting frequency was added in. So if there's no additions or errors that people are noting, I'm looking for a motion to approve the Recreation Advisory Committee terms of reference as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Councillor. Could I have a seconder?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. So the motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion on the committee terms of reference? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion is carried. And last but not least is the streetlight policy. So we did make some adjustments to the policy to, I guess, make it a little more flexible, particularly when it comes to private roads. And I'd be looking for a motion to adopt the amendments to the streetlight policy as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Councillor. Could I have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you, councillors. Is there any further discussion on the streetlight policy? All those in favor, please say aye. 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 Those opposed? That motion is carried. Okay, so the next item on our agenda are grants, and this one is regarding the Paroisse St. Joseph grant request for the Type 4 Regional Health General Grant Funds in the amount of $10,000. So I'll hand things over to you, Troy, if you have a verbal update on that.
Thank you, Madam Warden, and through you to council. Sadly, we can't let the grant process go further with this one, as the work was started and actually completed before the application came in. So it's a good example to use with all our community groups out there if you are thinking about applying for money through us or the CCBF fund, because with both fund sources, you cannot start your project before you apply. Because then you become ineligible. It's just unfortunate. It would have been nice to be able to, but it's right on the application form, and it is in our policy that you cannot start the project before applying. So we sadly cannot assist in this case.
Okay.
And they have been informed.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions for Troy on this? Deputy Warden?
Yeah, it is unfortunate, and talking to the group today, and they said that they had started the work, and through our discussions, we had put it off and asked to see if it would qualify for the CCBF, and during that process and during that time, they did complete the work. So, although they understand that situation, I did get a call and an email from a resident asking if we could confirm that we did follow all the criterias and elements to all our policies and grants when we're, when we're accepting grants and kind of funding grants, right? So that was just their concern. Not that they're looking for an acceptance here. Or it's disappointing for me because I was going to, I know we had discussed not funding it through our regional fund, but I was hoping to fund some of it through our district fund. And it's unfortunate that that won't be able to happen. But the resident in question was just hopefully, and I know we can't confirm all that tonight, but just hoping that he could, look at whether or not that, all those policies and all those grant applications are followed that way, right? So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. Yeah, no, it's too bad the way that that's unfolded, for sure. I think maybe we could encourage folks, though, if there are additional, future work to be done on the building, or for the group, to please consider an application in the future. I think would definitely encourage that. Okay, are there any other questions or comments for Troy on the grant request? No? Okay, so there being no further business, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. It's an 11-minute one, but might be record-setting, but I just want to say thank you again to everyone. It's a pleasure sitting at this table with you all. All right, meeting is adjourned.